Today I'm taking a look at a set of earbuds. They are of course attached by a string here. What I like about these is they are magnetic and say they're reasonably priced, and they include a little clip on the actual wire which is removable, which I'll show you in a moment. Bluetooth is pretty strong, so you can get a pretty good distance without much issue, so I'm happy with that. The sound is very clear, that's not a problem. It doesn't get as loud as some of the headsets, so I'd say this is a moderately loud headset to be realistic. And the magnets aren't super strong, but I mean, they're not just going to knock loose, so that's good. I have had some that are a little stronger in the past, but you know, it doesn't take a huge amount to knock them loose. They don't get very distorted at loud volume, but they also, like I said, don't get super loud like some, so that may be a factor. One thing I really do like is the button spacing. So you've got very easily accessible buttons. One thing I really hate is this piece right here. I had to get a pair of tweezers to get this to come out. That's why I left it open, because it's so hard to get out. But that was really difficult, more than any, and I've had so many Bluetooth headsets before, but this is the hardest one I've ever had. I guess that's good if you close it and don't want it to come back open, and you don't have to worry about that. I mean, it's just really hard to get a hold of. Now that I've gotten it, in and out, it's not as bad, but the very first time it was very difficult. I had to get a pair of tweezers, but I didn't really like that. But it does have a little piece that sticks up. I don't know how well you can really make that out. Focus may not be doing too good, but if you don't have fingernails, you're probably not going to be able to get that out very easily. So, of course, you got long and short presses to do the controls as far as volume and track navigation. The long presses are volume, which is kind of backwards than what I'm used to with most, which makes it a little weird, but by any means. You do have voice prompts that tell you when it's connected and when it's disconnected, and you do have power on, power off, things like that. So that's really cool. The clip I was speaking about is right there. A lot of headphones like this don't include a clip, and the reason I like that clip is because a lot don't have the magnetic aspect, and if you're not using that or don't have that, it's easy to have these fall off, and that actually gives you an extra little bit of security, which I really think is nice. These little wings, or whatever you want to call these little pieces here, are removable. They don't come on the headset, the earbuds, but I added them from the supplied little packaging, which includes a little micro USB cable. I use my own, and there's also this little piece here. I'm not using this right now, but basically let's see if I can turn it where you can see. You can see there, you slide the cable in both sides, and then you can tighten that up if you wanted to, but with this having the clip, that's fine. There are some that don't include either. This one includes both, so that's really nice. And then of course you have your different additional earbud covers, so if you want to find the right size for you. They stay put pretty good in my ear. It's not a big problem there. There's a little user manual that they include. It shows you all the different aspects. Of course, if you want to find out more details, there's a link below that you can look at, and I made some notes, so forgive me, but let's see. It takes, well, they say it takes about an hour to charge. It takes a little longer than that, but I guess it depends. Each one's going to vary. Batteries are never universally the same across all, but it takes about an hour to charge, give or take. 3 to 5 hours depending upon the volume level, and if you're just talking or if you're playing music. As far as usage, that's not really bad. That's not as good as some, because a lot of people want them to last 5, 6, 8 hours so they can get through an entire day. So that's going to be a factor that has to be accounted for depending upon what your usage is. So you know, as far as if you're going to just go to the gym for a few hours and you just want a set specifically for that, these will probably work pretty well. This part here, it doesn't add a huge amount of weight, but it does, you know, have to be factored in because it does add a little weight. So when you're wearing these, it does make it, you know, easily accessible, but it also adds that weight, and that may be bothersome in a sport type scenario, which obviously that's kind of where they're catered towards. So that may be a factor some people may dislike. You have 80 hours of standby time, which is really nice. I mean, I don't tend to use the telephone. I mean, I'm going to be texting. Most people, I think, probably are. For music, I do use music, but most of the time I don't use it with my phone. So I don't use a pair of headphones for music terribly often, if really ever. Extremely rare, but you know, that's going to be up to the individual. Other than that, I didn't have a whole lot else to say about these. I mean, like I said, the inclusion of the adjustment so that you can kind of have it sort of pinch these off and shorten the length of wire that you're dealing with, because it would actually slide up and down to give you more or less wire depending upon your needs. That's cool. The clip is very, very nice, and these little pieces do aid in keeping the earbuds in your ear pretty well. Although I have had some in the past that used a similar mechanism, but somehow they worked a little better. I don't know if it was because of the angle or what it was, but again, these are completely removable. So it's pretty easy taking them off and on and rotating them to the proper alignment for your specific comfort level. But I mean, overall they work well. I mean, you got, of course, the microphone and everything, and because of the way it's designed, it's going to lay closer to your mouth, so that's not going to be an issue. Sound is very clear, so that's not a problem. Like I said, just it doesn't get super loud, so they may not really present you with the volume that you are looking for, depending on how loud is loud enough for you. Other than that, I guess check out the link below if you want to find out more. Let's see. They use micro USB. So this is the box they come in. Nothing too fancy, but overall they're pretty nice. Definitely not my favorite, but the fact that they included the little accessories, which some people do and some people don't, I really like that aspect. So overall, I would say they're worth checking out, and they are comfortable to wear, but that little piece there may kind of be an aggravation for some people. Some people may rather control it on their phone. But you got the middle button is your power and your pairing, your multi-function. You know, double click to call the last number, pause and play music and things. But I love the button spacing, so that's really nice. Other than that, again, if you want to find out more, check out the link below. That's pretty much it. Thanks.